So the Phoenix Suns introduced Jordan Ott to the media. I am in that conversation. I was there yesterday, and I'll paint you the picture of what it looked like. As the man of the people, what it looked like. Sometimes I think people find this stuff interesting. So you walk in, you pick up your press credential, and it varies depending on what the press conference is. This is the third one this offseason. Matt Ishbia was the first one, and Ishbia and James Jones and Josh Bartelstein went up there and yapped for a really long time about absolutely nothing, because at the end of the day, everything they said was a lie. None of it was true. And then the very next, and there was a decent amount of people there. Then the Brian Gregory introductory press conference, which was awful because Brian Gregory, similar to what he was yesterday, is the world's toughest listen. And there was an okay amount of people there, but definitely the less than there was with Ishbia. Jordan Ott's press conference was so packed. There were a lot of people there, including players, Oso Ighodaro, Jalen Bridges, Ryan Dunn, whose name for some reason escaped me for a second, and Royce O'Neal. And it was packed. And luckily, my guy, me and Brendan Clean and I found a seat, and all was well. Brian Gregory spoke first. And my first reaction, and if you follow me on Twitter at Ben Garcia Show, you saw this, was, oh my God, Brian Gregory is such a tough listen. Brian Gregory is the opposite of Jonathan Gannon and Jordan Ott, which we'll get to him in just a second. Every time Jonathan Gannon speaks, every single time, even if things are going poorly with the Arizona Cardinals, like last year towards the end of the season, where they just kept losing every single game, or games weren't close because of bad turnovers. Every time Jonathan Gannon speaks, you just feel better about Jonathan Gannon and where this organization is going. It's a leader of men. Every time Brian Gregory speaks, I feel like Charles Barkley telling Nico Harrison to stop doing interviews and press conferences. He is so bad. It's just embarrassing. He's not a good public speaker. He doesn't speak with any power with what he says. Like, he doesn't speak with his chest. And the way he answers questions, I remember Dwayne Rankin of the Arizona Republic, or AZ Central, yesterday asked a question about Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant's contract, Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant potentially being traded and what that might look like. Like, it was a very typical question. And Brian Gregory started to go on and on about contracts and nonsense. And then he literally said a lot, but said nothing at the same time. Just a massive word salad. Every time Brian Gregory speaks, about halfway through when he talks, I think to myself, what is this guy talking about? I can't tell you how many times I said the words, what is this guy talking about, at his introductory press conference. Every time he speaks, it's bad. It's so, I can't get anything behind it to make me believe that I should feel better about this team. And there's that. Brian Gregory, awful public speaker, just terrible at speaking to the media. But then Jordan Ott spoke. And Jordan Ott came off as very humble, very serious, fairly confident guy, and knows that he deserves to be there. And we'll get to that part in just a second. But what I think won a lot of people over about Jordan Ott yesterday was he's relatable. I don't like to put myself in other people's shoes like Jordan Ott, because he has earned the right to be the Suns head coach. He mentioned that yesterday, and I firmly believe that. But Jordan Ott doesn't seem like Brian Gregory, which was a lollipop handout, do as I say, and you can be the fictional general manager. Jordan Ott feels like someone like myself, who I've obviously worked in this business for about 10 years. He's been doing this for 20 years. Dude deserves, I'm just relating to the work ethic. And Jordan Ott felt like someone who has been working their entire life to get to this position, and it's finally real, and he's still having a hard time compartmentalizing. I just realized I said that word wrong. In his head that this is his job. And when someone asked him, and it was someone over at the Associated Press, I don't know him very well. I know my guy Brendan Clean does. And he had mentioned the Phoenix Spartans aspect and how much of your role with Michigan State played a role to get here. And Jordan Ott looked at him almost angrily, pissed off. And like a lot of us who finally got the call up to being the branch manager or getting that promotion, or in my wheelhouse of just getting a job, and said, basically, you think I got that job because I was a video coordinator at Michigan State however long ago? Of course, he said, I've earned the right to be here. What I thought was so great was he did a little scoff. It was the first time he had actually smiled throughout the whole press conference. There were little grins here and there to, get through the question. But when he kind of did the little scoff and said, I'll say this, I've earned the right to be here. That's what you want to hear. It's exactly what you want to hear. It's completely opposite to what Brian Gregory said last week or a couple weeks ago of, I'm here because of Matt Ishbia. Jordan Ott, I don't really give a damn about winning the press conference because it doesn't mean anything, but it does help if you did. Brian Gregory felt like he got his job because he was fraternity brothers with Matt Ishbia and he owed him a favor. Jordan Ott got the job because he's been working his tail off tirelessly and then eventually got the call up, or someone believed in him enough to be the head coach. That's the difference. And I'm all for it. I don't know what Johnny Bryant would have been. I don't know what Sean Sweeney would have been. I don't know what Chris Quinn would have been. But what I've seen from Jordan Ott is he continuously wins me over. He's got a lot of similarities to Jonathan Gannon, where he's stoic, never too high, never too low. Honestly, the two guys kind of look the same. And every time he's going to speak throughout the season, regardless of how things are going, you're going to say to yourself, damn, I just feel good with that guy leading my franchise. Another thing that I thought was very relatable from Jordan Ott was at the beginning of the press conference, there was a couple of different guys back there. It was Royce, Ryan, Jalen Bridges, and Oso Ighodaro. And he points to them and says, your guys' job is really hard. And speaks to those guys in front of all the media. I thought he was talking to us at first. He's already starting to build relationships. And that's the issue that Mike Budenholzer and Frank Vogel had. Players did not like them. Bradley Beal didn't. Devin Booker didn't with Mike Budenholzer. Kevin Durant's had issues with everyone. You got to build relationships and pamper these players to an extent. And I think Ott gets that. He's speaking to the players yesterday. He's pointing them out. He's saying, your guys' job is difficult. He's already started to build those bridges. He talked about Devin Booker yesterday. Talked about his work ethic, his competitiveness. All of those things are things that players want to hear. And so yesterday, when you're watching Jordan Ott's press conference, and I know everyone has beat the dead horse by covering this thing 15 ways from Sunday since I've been here. But I think I've earned my audience by being honest, and the people that watch my content know that I'm going to be truthful. I was just at church the other day, and we were talking about something, and I was just being honest, and I had said to them, I'm not much of a liar. I'm definitely a liar, meaning we all lie to some extent, but I'm not much of one. I don't make that kind of stuff my forte. I would hope I can continue to push the narrative of, I'm not asking you to like Jordan Ott. I'm not asking you to like how we got hired. What I'm asking you is, give the guy a shot. I don't want you to be that person that was ragging on Jordan Ott because of Michigan State, and then it turns out he's really good and you got to change your mind. Don't have an opinion yet. He hasn't done anything yet. Give it time. Let the guy earn your trust. But what I will say to you is, as someone who's been very honest about everything on this show, and I've taken a lot of arrows for it. Kevin Durant's came after me. I have Kyler Murray stands at me all the time because they think I hate him. I defended Budenholzer for about 5 seconds and then realized he was a buffoon. Give Ott a chance. Yesterday was relatable. He's felt more like me in terms of us than any other head coach has. He gave right answer after right answer. And what I would say to you is this guy is a grinder. He cares so much. I think actually what will be his Achilles heel for the first couple months of the season, for however long, we'll see how he adjusts, is I think he's going to have too much information up here because he's always going to be over-prepared, which can sometimes be paralysis by analysis. He has to work through that. But he's cut from the same cloth of the J.J. Redicks, the Joe Mazzulas, the Ime Udokas, just intense coaches who will do anything to succeed. And feels like he's been waiting for this moment his entire life. And he finally has it. And there's no way he's going to let it go. So, Jordan Ott press conference yesterday, I'm not going to give him an A because it wasn't that great. But it was a solid B+. I thought he did a really good job and completely nipping in the bud the question of the Michigan State thing, which he knew was coming. He was almost waiting for that to come in, like relishing in the moment for that question to come to squash it like the bug it is. Because it doesn't matter as much as it did with Brian Gregory, because Brian Gregory wasn't qualified. Jordan Ott is. And so I'll continue to push the narrative. Give the guy a chance. The guy has earned the opportunity to be this Suns team's head coach.